Right.
What's up, everybody? Real excited today to be here speaking with Jerry. This timing is perfect because Jerry. So I was focused on Skillshare for like 4 or 5 months because I actually saw one of your videos where you showed Skillshare, right? And then I made 4 or 5 courses. One of them was about OBS. It was doing pretty good. And then I got that auto Skillshare ban from like they thought I was abusing their referral system, and my account's completely gone. And it wrecked me. This happened
Wow.
like a month ago. But it was another lesson. This is like the fourth time I've lost like almost all of my income overnight from a freaking email, right? Because I used to drop ship. I did stuff on eBay. I got banned on eBay. And then I was making money from an eBay course. And then eBay made a policy that made my course like a little bit irrelevant. So it went from like 1,600 bucks a month in Nicaragua, which is like great money here, to like 300 bucks. So I've been effed by these platforms a couple times, and I understand that it's important to not rely on the platforms. But at the moment, before I can make my own personal website, I need to earn like just a couple hundred more dollars from Udemy to cover my bills. I live here in Nicaragua. Cost of living is really cheap. My rent's 150 bucks. So I'm really excited to have this conversation with you. I feel like you are probably the best person to help me out here.
Well, how may I help you, Jack?
So the main thing that I'm trying to do right now, I already have some Udemy income. It's not that much, and I'm trying to grow it just a little bit. But I'm not too concerned about Udemy. What I'm trying to develop is a website for Spanish speakers, teaching them how to earn money online. But I have no experience with like making email lists or making like what do I use Teachable? Do I use like my own personal website? How do I deal with hosting? I know nothing about any of this. So anything you could share about that would be great. I've only ever taught on Skillshare and Udemy and YouTube.
What is your goal out of making the courses?
I want to be able to. Okay, so online income information in the US is pretty valuable, right? But I live in Nicaragua, by the way. I used to live in the United States, but now I live in Nicaragua. And what I see here is that there are so many people who have all the free time in the world, and they only need like $400 or $500 a month to completely change their life. Like in Nicaragua, earning 500 bucks a month off of just a couple hours of work a day is insane. That is more money than you get from a college degree job here. For reference, college degree job in Nicaragua gets you like $4 an hour of pay. And this is true for a lot of the Latin American countries. So I want to make a course in Spanish, bringing awareness that these people can earn money online. A lot of my local Nicaraguan friends, they don't think it's possible, even though it is completely possible for them. And they have an advantage because they live here in Nicaragua. They need so much less money than someone in the United States, you know? But again, I don't know anything about what platform do I host on. I don't know, like I know a bit about Teachable, and I know you use Euthena, I think, right? But I don't know
Yeah, that's
anything about
posted on
Euthena.
Thinkific.
Can you tell me more about these platforms? Like,
Well, my vision is to make a platform that addresses exactly what you're talking about, where anyone can just join on the platform and have a good chance to make money online, and then to be able to spend money on the same platform without having to withdraw it. Like, for example, someone in Nicaragua could work at $4 an hour if they wanted to and earn, say, $500, and then they could pay someone else in Nicaragua on the platform. Like maybe the person working didn't have a bank account or a credit card or anything, but they could earn that $500. Then they could pay someone else in Nicaragua that did have a bank account who could withdraw it. They could pay them to like buy their groceries, rent a house, like a one place where you can make and spend your money online anywhere in the world.
that sounds pretty cool. So it's like a course marketplace combined with a payment, like PayPal. Sort of.
Yes, the idea is to allow you to publish content with controls on how much it costs to view it. So you could publish a video course and charge a certain price to view it, or you could publish a video that only published if it was sponsored, for example. Like you could do a marketing for a brand. You could put stuff out for free that just help people find you. Basically, imagine if Facebook lets you put pricing on every single post
On
you make.
posts. Yeah, interesting. That sounds pretty cool. That sounds like something that takes a while to set up properly, though, like years.
Yes, getting the users would be really easy. The key I'm looking for now is the investor money to hire a development team to actually build the website.
That's the angel video on your YouTube channel.
Yes, that's my current project.
That's super cool. And you have so many. I really admire the way you worked, man. Like, I understand that to grow like a YouTube channel, you need to have like predictable content usually. But I really love you will just make content about anything. And that's something that I'm the same way. And it's always kind of held my YouTube channel back a little bit because I have content about like death and trauma and all these things. And nobody wants to hear that shit except for the few people who really, really, really love it because they're going through something hard. I also did like just tutorials about pretty much everything. And it like my channel got noticed. Oh, my whole YouTube channel is basically drop shippers from back when I used to drop ship on eBay, and I was doing this thing called bulk drop shipping, and I would just upload like entire stores, hundreds of thousands of items, and like I didn't earn that much money from it, but it taught me about all the problems, and it made me able to produce like kind of prolific content on YouTube because I'd make videos like posting 100,000 eBay store in 20 minutes. And like, you know, people want to watch that, you know? So, but now I'm in a position where like, I don't need my YouTube channel to get bigger, but it's completely kind of stopped growing because I no longer drop ship. And then I was starting to kind of try and establish myself as an instructor with Skillshare, specifically because I love that on Skillshare you can create a course even as a person with no YouTube influence or nothing else, and like students are actually going to watch that. Whereas on Udemy, if you create a course and you don't do any marketing, you can't share it with anybody, it's completely possible to have not a single sign up for your course in the first month or two, and that's really frustrating for a lot of students. So I thought Skillshare was amazing for that reason. But then after I made like 12 really positive videos about Skillshare, I even worked with them to make a YouTube video where they like reviewed the video, allowed me to publish it, and then they just auto banned me. It was so frustrating.
Man, that's rough. I actually had my whole Skillshare profile taken down. I haven't posted the video about that yet. They took my whole profile down because a football team in Argentina included my Skillshare profile URL in with like hundreds of other URLs. They were just trying. My last name, Banfield, matches one of their football teams. My Skillshare profile just got caught in the crossfire of them trying to bulk take down any Banfield football team videos. And Skillshare took my whole profile down within 24 hours or so of receiving the DMCA notice. And I immediately submitted a counter notification. Google put my URL. So Google put my URL back up in search within a week. And it took Skillshare a month to put my profile back up. Dang. And they withheld they withheld like the royalties that I earned that they were going to pay me. They did pay the referrals out though. Hey, then they gave me a strike right after that for putting up a course where I wasn't the primary narrator, even though in their terms it says you can have a company account that can have different narrators. Yeah, so then they didn't want to negotiate on that either. So my thing is I'm going to forget about Skillshare completely. Unless, like I'm mentioning how to teach online, then I'll mention Skillshare, but I'm not going to put any more courses ado. I'm just going to forget about Skillshare, just take whatever money they send me, and then because I've been worried about them banning me too. I've talked to at least one other guy who got banned from Skillshare, and I've seen things about people getting banned from Skillshare. It's actually profitable for them to ban people, especially if you bring in subscribers and you have like courses people are watching. Yeah, and then they ban you, that you can't earn anything else from people watching your courses, but they get to keep the subscribers. And they get to constantly just get rid of people for it doesn't cost them in the short term anything. Yeah. But that's why I'm so excited about making Uthenas. We also will not ban anyone. We will have account managers that work directly with people. We might force an edit on your title of your service if it's offering something illegal. We will work with everybody. The platforms like most of the places to make money online really stink for the majority of people in the world, and I see it's possible to make something that is really good for people at making money online. Because if you're doing good at that angle, it'll be good to spend money on the same website. Like Walmart, if you're Walmart, you have a new service you want to offer, how do you take your $10 million in your new service and turn that into people talking about it? Realistically, you spend millions of dollars trying to make ads and even to get your message before your message gets out there. And if you would have just taken your message straight to the people, so to speak, if you'd have given 10 million people $10 to make a video about your service, you'd have probably got a lot more than hiring an ad agency that charged $1 million to then run Google ads and all that stuff.
Yeah, paying like 30 middlemen.
Yes, it's hard if you have millions of dollars to actually do something like that I could do. It's real easy for me with $100 a day to advertise my YouTube channel. But if you've got $10 million you want to advertise, then it's not as simple as just going in and setting up a Google AdWords account and putting a YouTube video up for it.
Yeah, well, but if you want to be effective, it's not that simple.
When really all the brand wants is for you to talk about and look at their service. And there's a lot of people for $10, they'd talk about and look at your service.
Yeah,
I mean, I probably would for a little bit more.
I got an email from PayPal saying they'd give me $10 to fill out a 15-minute survey. I did that immediately. Like, hell yeah. It took like 20 minutes, but whatever. And that was $10. It was incentivizing.
Right? There's a lot of things a lot of people do, but there's no platform where you can take $10 million and hire 1 million people very easily to do something for $10. Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm intending to do with Euthenas and use it as a case study. Like we'll have a 500,000, we'll lead by example. We'll do that with our own platform. Take the like $500,000 from the investors, pay 100,000 people, or maybe pay like 50,000 people $10, make a video about Euthena, and we'll be able to show how it works on ourselves.
Yeah. And that's going back to Skillshare. One of the things that was kind of frustrating for me is knowing that it would be so simple for them to, one, just remove the ability for someone to refer people, or two, to just remove the inauthentic referrals. Because the reason that I got banned was because a huge number of referrals came for the same IP and device assigned to the same credit card information. So people were onboarding to Skillshare using the same credit card information with multiple different emails. So I think that what probably happened is that somebody in some group who has a credit card information and they were giving away free trials were basically like, oh, just use this fake credit card number or whatever and then sign up with your email account and you can get the Skillshare stuff for free. I think that's what happened, but I don't know, because this also happens to one of my other YouTuber friends. His name's Chris Lynn. He runs a channel about eBay, like eBay physical resale, not drop shipping. And he has 40,000 subscribers. And in his first month on Skillshare, he referred 260 people. And he didn't even get his first paycheck. At least I got 3 paychecks before they banned me. They just banned him like that. And also 3 of my students also got banned with the exact same email. And it's just I made all this positive content and then I had to make a video being like, no, never mind, sorry, ignore the positive stuff I was saying. But that's life, it's a learning lesson that ultimately, if you're relying on other platforms, it's risky and short term. The only thing that you can do in long run is be able to bring your own traffic to your own website. That's, the key to everything.
Yeah, so what you're saying is all it'd take is one platform to not be risky and short term for making money, and it might be the most valuable company in the world.
I feel like it, but there's also, it's not that simple, because there's a lot of reasons that these platforms are picky, especially once you get big. Anything that happens on your platform, you're often legally accountable for, So if somebody does some sketchy ass shit with your platform and you're not careful, then you're doing sketchy ass shit, So I kind of understand a little bit. With Skillshare, they do have to have some system to block these fake referrals. But if they can see that it's the same credit card number, they could just do a tiny little programming algorithm tweak so that you can't get paid for the same credit card number, because they already have all that information, And I think maybe a lot of people have told me that maybe Skillshare is having money problems, so they're banning people more easily. I don't know if that's true, but it was super frustrating. But I've talked so much about Skillshare recently. I don't want to
That's
get
good.
too
I
much
need to
into
do
it.
a video. I will add a video to my list about Skillshare to talk about my ban and then
Video
account restoration.
lists.
Yes, and also to suggest that how easy it is to get banned from Skillshare. That, and I will talk. I have a partner group that you've probably seen in some of my videos. I've got one of my partners is investing heavily. Like they're sending all their YouTube traffic to Skillshare, and they're kind of doing their business based on Skillshare. I'll let them know that hey, all it takes is one person to share your referral link and use your link to sign up with all it takes is a little bit of sketchy stuff with your referral link by one
One
person
person.
or small group, and your whole account will
One
get
person who
banned.
knows what they're doing with an email address and the ability to use other email addresses and one credit card that may not even be real. Like it just has to be able to assign the free charge to, and that's it.
So
Right?
I could probably get anyone I wanted to banned from Skillshare just using
Theoretically, yep.
several different emails and signing up for a bunch of free trials off their referral link.
Which is just ridiculous. Like you should never. They didn't. Like Skillshare doesn't even send out a message saying like, "Hey, we've noticed some suspicious activity, and we'd like to pick your brain before we ban you." Like that'd be nice, but c'est la vie.
Yeah,
At least
that's
eBay calls you when they ban you. They call you and
they
they're
do
like,
call you?
oh, yeah, they call you and then you can't do anything about it. But they do actually call you and say, hey, you got your last strike. Your account's over. And as soon as they hang up the phone, boom.
Well, that's why I'm so excited to build Euthena is a platform where you don't just get banned, like where someone will actually work with you to collaborate with you in fixing whatever issues you're causing, and maybe have some account restrictions. If you're straight up offering illegal services on there, you might have to get approval to post or something.
Yeah.
But like a platform that just has love and tolerance. Well, that's why I've went all in on YouTube now. I'm ignoring I'm just doing YouTube and Euthena. And what I've noticed is YouTube actually does have a lot of love and tolerance compared to Skillshare. Like I've put up some pretty bad videos on YouTube that have, which I've taken down, and I've put up thousands of videos on YouTube, and they've been really nice about it, so to speak. I put the same number of videos up on Udemy. They ended up banning me. Facebook is generally pretty nice about things too. I have blatantly violated all kinds of terms and conditions on Facebook, and they never banned my account. And so that's why I'm focusing now on YouTube, because I look at like some of the top creators have done some pretty things that you would have absolutely got banned off of Udemy or Skillshare, some of these other platforms. And yes, they've got demonetized on YouTube, which it's reasonable. You might not want to let advertisers show ads on that channel after what they did.
Yeah.
But they still have huge amounts of traffic, and they can still they haven't lost their core audience.
Ad revenue usually represents a small fraction of the potential income from YouTube traffic.
Yeah.
Like it's always more effective to have your own product of some kind and use that with your YouTube traffic, because then even if you only have like 1,000 or 2,000 subs, like that could be a couple grand a month in a lot of situations, as long as you have a good product that's relevant to your subscribers' interests.
Yes. So what I'm doing is I'm using my partner membership as kind of my main thing to monetize my YouTube channel. That way, the partner membership is for people who want like coaching and one-on-one calls and group calls. And that way, just 1 out of 10,000 people watching and becoming a partner, it pays more than all the other ad revenue combined.
Yeah. Yeah, it's awesome that you have this service too. I really admire that. Like, this is something that I've offered to my YouTube audience for a while. Basically, I tell them, you can either pay me to talk to you, or you can let me record it and publish it on YouTube, and it's completely free. So what's pretty cool about that is that most people who are interesting most people who are really lame and boring are not, they're too scared to show their face in a YouTube video. So like, I don't get any free calls that I don't find interesting because of that reason. Because if the person is courageous enough to show their face on a YouTube channel, then typically they're kind of interesting to talk to, So even though it's free, I feel like they are giving something up. They're giving up their face, their voice.
Yes.
when did you start offering these kind of services?
Well, the partner program I started offering in beginning of 2017, after the Udemy ban and after doing YouTube kind of as my main thing for a few months, looking how to monetize. And I've been offering the partner program ever since. There've been about 100 or so total partners that have came and went, with about 30 that paid for a lifetime or that are active right now. And the partner programs helped me a lot, which is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like the calls that I've had, the partner program helped inspire me to start Euthena, because I listened to partners talking about what's going on online. And like, we had a partner get banned from Fiverr, and they just like, they had a full-time income off of Fiverr, and just one client, reported them for giving their email address and a message, an instant ban with no other violations, like thousands of orders. And they held their money for 90 days before they could go in and withdraw it. Like, they were up in search traffic. And I keep thinking, like, there's these platforms banning people. We just need one place for all of us to get together.
Yeah.
Where we
absolutely.
kind of feel safe and we can focus on making money and serving people.
I feel safe on YouTube. Like, I know that you can get banned on YouTube, but it's genuinely kind of hard unless you're stealing people's content. Like, if you're copyright infringing and you're literally stealing people's videos, then you can get banned that way fairly easily if you do that too much. But they're gonna take your videos down a bunch of times before they ban you. Like, they have systems. It's really hard to get just auto banned overnight on YouTube, whereas on eBay it's completely possible. All these platforms have like 3 or 4 strike policies, which is great, but then they also have the option to just completely ignore those policies, which is like, what's the point of having the strike policies then?
Yeah, Udemy, I'd been on there. I had hundreds of thousands of students. I was one of the top 10 instructors on the site, and they just banned me. I had no active strikes on my account. I'd only ever had 1 strike in the whole time they had the discipline system, which after 6 months, they take the strikes off your account.
Mm-hmm.
And then they just sent me an email out of nowhere. And they cited 2 like minor and policy violations, which there was no credibility in either of them. They said I had improper co-instructor relationships because other instructors added me onto their courses. And then I put videos in the courses and sent promotional emails with them, which I don't know if anyone else has ever actually gotten in trouble for that.
Mm-hmm.
In that scenario. It's common for instructors to add other instructors to try and boost their. And they said I had reviews from sketchy sources.
Mm-hmm.
70 out of 10,000 reviews looked questionable. Like, well, yes, I shared 40,000 free coupons last month. Yeah, and they're like, well, all right, your point about the reviews is good, but we're banning you anyway. Like, okay, it wasn't anything I did, is it? You just wanted to. It's good, though, that happened, because if I wouldn't have got banned from Udemy, I wouldn't have been able to understand I wouldn't have been able to understand the huge need for a place where people can reliably make money online for the long term.
Yeah.
Without having to. On Facebook, you can make money, but you always have to shuffle people off of Facebook to go purchase somewhere else. Same thing on YouTube. You always have to get them off of YouTube to go buy somewhere else.
Yeah, it's a catalyst for something else.
If you could really make money and have your profile and do your networking all in one place, I mean, it'd be ridiculous.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. Sounds super tricky to set up, but once set up, sounds awesome.
Yeah, so I can see the way to set it up. It's like all in my head. And working on translating it into reality. That's kind of artwork, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what they
Anyone
say.
can see a beautiful painting, but to actually paint it.
Yeah, that's what they say about creating anything. Like, I studied video game development. That's like my long-term interest. One of the reasons I'm living in Nicaragua is so that, like, the biggest problem with video game devs is that they have problems with money and deadlines, so they produce shitty games. So if you can fix money problems and you can fix free time problems, so you have all the free time in the world and you don't have money problems, put yourself in a position to have a huge competitive advantage creating video games. But that is tricky, right? So that's one of the reasons I'm here, because in Nicaragua, $500 a month, life-changing amount of money. So $1,000, $2,000 a month, holy crap. If you earn $3,000 every month here in Nicaragua, you can live like a king. Not like be that great at saving money and still be frivolous and like buy things you don't need and still be saving 70% of your income. Like it's insane. And so that I agree as well that like I'm glad that I got banned on the platforms that I did, because like all of those experiences put me in the position I'm in now, and they put me in a position where I don't need to know exactly what's going to happen to me to be happy. I can just know I'm going to figure it out. Sometimes I lose track of that vision. Definitely. I get weak and nervous, but most of the time I'm able to be like, I don't know what's going to happen, and I'm okay with that because I'm going to do the work that's necessary to figure it out.
Yes. I have days where I'm like, I hate my business. This is stupid. I'm just going to delete my channels and do something else. I'm not really helping anybody.
It's crazy too, because you have thousands of videos giving like really valuable information that a lot of people would have to pay for typically. You know, so for you to think that you're not helping, it's obviously not logical at all. But I understand, like, it's funny how as you grow, you almost become blind to what you are, because it's all based on where you are now and where you were like a month or two ago, not what you actually are to all people in the world. You know what I mean?
Yes, I had a little realization of that. I was doing a tutorial on Upwork yesterday, like how to pick out a good job to apply for, find a good client. I'm scrolling through them like, this job sucks, this client sucks, I wouldn't work for them. Like, man, you can tell I haven't had a job in a while. This one sucks. After like 30 job postings, I'm like, this one might be all right, and I'm glad I don't need to apply for these jobs.
Right.
Like, I think I'd rather be a bum and homeless than apply to some of these jobs.
Yeah, because at least you have the free time to then do what you're going to do, you know? And that's one of the things that I talk to people a lot is about, like, okay, so some of my friends in my personal life, they view me as this individual who's like really smart and can just do anything, and that's why I have this life. They don't understand that they are literally a human as well. And it's not about like how smart or dumb you are. It's about the environment that you create for yourself. And for example, if you are working in a retail job and you're always around problems that you can't fix, that makes you dumb. You have to be in an environment where you can do something about the problems around you. That's what grows intellect, right? So for me, like, I'm spoiled just like you are, in the sense that I quit my job like 2 years ago. And prior to that, I got really sick, and I had a salary job, and I couldn't do the job anymore. So I had to quit and get a job at Starbucks. So even though I've only been like fully self-employed for 2 years, I was just working a little bit, like part-time in Starbucks, because the glory of Starbucks is you can work full-time when you need money, but then be like, hey, I want to do other stuff. I want to be 20 hours now instead of 40. And as long as you do a good job, they'll be like, cool, we'll do whatever you want. Just show up on time. So that was really good for me. But I agree that I'm also spoiled in that, like, I'm used to being able to create something in a week or two that like makes me money in the future. And the hourly rate for that kind of work, like course creation hourly rate, is in the hundreds of dollars. Even if like, and I don't even know what it is for you. That's with me with one like kind of successful drop shipping course that earned me like $18,000. And like, even with that is, I can't do anything else that earns me hundreds of dollars an hour. Like, no way. At least not at the moment.
Well, that's guided me, that kind of thinking and realization. I've actually stopped making new video courses because while the video courses can make money, and they've been the thing that's making the most money online, what I'm seeing is the very highest level business system is to put everything out for free. Because you get the largest possible audience, and then you can have things like, yeah, I don't have to sell anything anymore, except like I just now pitched a partner program. Like in every single video, or almost all of them, I can have something that costs a lot more that I like doing. And I like Tim Ferriss has a podcast with 400 million downloads. He's able to just put all the stuff he creates out for free to get the largest possible audience. And that's what everyone kind of creating courses is stopping themselves from going to the top, so to speak, of the free business system. And I looked at my YouTube channel, I'm like, man, the one time I actually focused on doing a great job on my YouTube channel for 6 months, I got a lot of YouTube growth out of that. And there were so many opportunities to make money. It was ridiculous. But the whole rest of the time, I've kind of used my YouTube channel as a means to an end. Always, get off of YouTube and go somewhere else. When their whole algorithm seems to be based on, do you keep people coming back on YouTube?
Mm-hmm. So could you share real quick? You just mentioned that there was a 6-month period of time where you were more focused on Udemy, and I know this is a 30-minute call, so we got to end this soon. But could you share what were you doing? Were you making more videos? Were you using a different style of videos during that 6-month period? Why do you say that you were doing it differently?
What I had done up until 2016 in June, when Udemy laid down the suspension, I had always used my YouTube channel as a means to get someone somewhere else. And for years, I'd been putting stuff up on my YouTube channel to get people over to Udemy and to sell courses, which was working really good. But once Udemy suspended me, I started just actually making things for YouTube. Yeah. Like, here's a tutorial. And I just started showing and teaching anything I was doing. Like, I'm like, here, I made some, from my view, really boring tutorials. Like, I literally just showed myself trading cryptocurrencies on Poloniex because I wanted to do that anyway. Yeah. So I just literally recorded it and showed it. And then I put that up on YouTube and people started watching it. So okay. So I made several more like cryptocurrency tutorials and tutorials in a bunch of other areas like that were just for YouTube to try and do a good job on YouTube and not to get people somewhere else. And my whole channel started blowing up after that, at which point I thought, well, this is going so well, I should stop. Let me just now go back to using my YouTube channel as a means to an end. Yeah. And then my growth just went down and flatlined right after that, as I tried to get everyone to go over to one cryptocurrency or another. And I didn't hardly think about what can I make that would just be a great YouTube video that people would want to keep watching on YouTube.
That's some really good insight. That's kind of what happened with my dropshipping course. The reason it did well is because I was making videos on YouTube. Now there's a bunch of YouTubers who are dropshippers. But back when I was doing this, there were only a couple big channels that occasionally did videos about dropshipping. There weren't that many like individuals just sharing dropshipping information for free. And that's what I was doing just over and over and over again. And the reason my course did well is because technically all the information was actually available on my YouTube channel. But you had to find it. You had to shuffle through hundreds of videos. You had to search for it. You had to know that even though the title of that 30-minute video is about that, at minute 22, I reveal all this shit for 8 minutes. Right? So that led people to have a lot of trust in me because I was just giving them the information without directing them somewhere else. So once I did launch the course, they were like, oh, a more organized way to interact with your content, which we already love, and they loved it. But then I got banned and all that, so learning lesson. But anyway, man, I don't want to waste too much of your time. I know that this is just 30 minutes, so I would love to keep talking, but say lovey.
Well, I'm enjoying this call, Jack. I watched some of your YouTube channel here, and I joined you as a subscriber as well. I joined your channel as a subscriber. And if you're interested at some point, you would fit right in our partner program.
Yeah, dude, if I had more money, I would love to. Unfortunately, when I lost Skillshare, I was focused on that for 4 months, and it represented like 80% of my income. So right now, I need to get a couple $100 more a month from Udemy, and then I can focus on other things, and then I'll have some spending money. But right now, I'm earning like $200 more than my bills. So I got to fix some shit.
I've spent $90,000 more than I've made this year. And I'm like, well, I've applied for credit cards, business loans. I got rejected for at least 20 business loans, but I got 4 or 5 of them for $100,000 total. So I'm like, well, I've got to keep spending money to make money. Right now, I'm literally taking credit card cash advances to pay the bills. At the same time, I'm spending like $100 a day on YouTube ads. And the YouTube ads are working for the first time ever. I'm seeing the YouTube ads are actually working to get new subscribers, to get likes on videos, comments, and I imagine shares. Yeah, the YouTube ads are getting some valuable traffic on the channel. And So this is the same thing I did before my Udemy blew up. I literally grabbed all the money I could borrow, personal loans, anything I could get. I spent almost every single bit of it where I could barely pay my bills. And right when that happened, the income turned around, and within 2 years, all the loans and debt I'd borrowed were all paid off, and I had made the most money I'd ever made online. My philosophy is I got to spend my way into my next success. So that's how I look at it.
I think that works for you because you're a very well-informed individual who understands what the internet is, whereas most people in the world, if they think that they need to spend their way to success, they're going to pay thousands of dollars for information that they could get for free, you know?
Yeah, I bought a video course for $250 2 days ago, and that's rare. Almost all the spending I do is I pay other people to do things, and I pay for ads. Those are the main things that, like, I've paid people 70 or 80,000 to make video courses this year, which so far have made less than 20,000 back, but they're on path to make a profit and get good content.
All it takes is one course to get really big, you know? You've mentioned that.
Yeah. Yes, and I aimed at hot topics. I mean, one of the courses could pay for all of them and then some, but it consistently and uncomfortably takes spending the money beforehand and then waiting 3 times as long as you think you should have to. And then by the time you've about given up, then something will work. I'm about to start hitting some influencer marketplaces now. One of the guys in the partner program to use my profiles, and like I'll do shout outs in my YouTube videos, like $100 I'll do a shout out for you on YouTube. It'll go on Facebook, on Twitter, put a link in my blog. And the strategy you can have him do is like just apply to every one of the brands on there. Just try all of them. I don't care if it's a hair product or nails or
if it's
just whichever one. Yeah, whoever wants to pay $100 to have a shout out can have a shout out, and then people seeing the shout outs, then I'll sell them directly myself on the videos after that. And I'm thinking, if I pay him $1,000 for the time to do this, can we make $2,000 back? Without having a whole bunch of work.
Yeah, even if you make like $1,300 back, if it doesn't take you that much time, it's profit.
Yeah, and then it's an example so that I can say after every shout out, like, hey, if you want your own shout out, go to jerry.tips/shout out and you can get in the next video.
I'll put a link. If you could send me a link to your partner program, I'll put a link in the YouTube video that I make out of this.
Excellent. Jerry.tips/partner. You might be able to do some of those influencer marketing marketplaces, like just offer a shout out or a dedicated upload. Have you tried any of those?
Yeah, so it's only recently. I used to have a really hard time charging people for money because I thought I was insecure, basically. I didn't realize that, wow, I have a fuckload of really valuable traffic and information for them. I should charge them. And so now I'm open to charging people. But I used to do a lot of tutorials for dropshipping software and that kind of thing, and so people would pay me. I've never taken a direct payment to make a video. I've always preferred to get affiliate links and that kind of thing. But I've definitely had situations where people are like, hey, if you make this video, we'll give you $500. And it's like, that sounds great. But at the time, I didn't do it, which was dumb because it was a little piece of software, and I knew that they weren't going to get $500 worth of value from my channel about it because it wasn't really relevant. But I should have just done it anyway.
Well, you never know, too. Sometimes someone might pay $100 for a shout out on my channel, and it might not look like it does anything, but one person sees the product and buys it for 10 years. I mean, they might get $1,000 out of one person seeing one shout out.
Yeah, I think you just touched on one of my weaknesses, which I act like life is everything that happened and right now, and I'm going to die tomorrow. But the reality is everything has taught me, and I'm probably going to be okay for a couple years, So in my head, whenever someone makes an offer like that, I'm like, you're not going to earn that money back in a month or two. But the reality is in 10 years, different story, right? Completely different story. And I have to grow that part of myself to think more kind of long term and not be scared of like, everything going to shit.
Yeah, that's what I do. When I'm spending money, I'm like, I've got the money to spend today. I'm certain something will work out in the future as long as I keep investing in building things today. And even if it means screwing something up, well, I know not to do that now.
Lesson learned. People drop hundreds of thousands of dollars on college degrees. What's wrong with making a couple $1,000 business mistakes,
Yes, my college, yes, I spent probably that much on college, and it got me several jobs I didn't enjoy that much, that didn't pay very well, that put my life in danger, like corrections officer and policing. I thought, well, I might as well just work at home.
Yeah.
It's funny when you have your own business. I think I'd rather lose money on my own business than go in and do something I didn't like.
Yeah, absolutely. Me too. Because at least it's like you learned something from it. It's not like you just lost the money. You paid for education.
Yes, I pay for some valuable education in my business online. Like, well, don't do that. All right. Well, Jack, I've enjoyed this call with you, and I think this might be a video other people enjoy watching as well. I'm not sure what a good title for it would be, though. I guess I could research that. Do you use TubeBuddy?
Yeah, I love TubeBuddy. It's amazing.
I just started using that.
Oh, it's a great tool.
I can't believe I didn't use that before.
Yeah, it makes it super easy. Especially you can set up a VA to just like you train them the system where they identify the keywords, they do all the videos. Like it's really easy to have a YouTube channel where you just post the video and then all that stuff just happens. Usually you would want to do some keyword research ahead of time because ideally, for an effective YouTube video, you don't start with pressing record. You start with, looking for keywords to make a topic. But I always tell people you should just press record because the reality is most people don't even get to the point where they need to learn how to monetize stuff because they are too insecure to actually start creating content in the first place. And that has to happen for you to get to the point where you can actually start applying yourself and monetizing things. So in general, I'm always like, just do it, just do it, just do it, just do it. But I know in the reality, you can't just make videos. You also have to like apply some strategies and some other things. But can't get to that point if you don't make the videos in the first place, right?
That's right. My first video on YouTube was different ways to say the F word.
Really?
And it wasn't in different languages either. It was just literally me saying the F this and F that. Like that was my first video.
You're a fart.
It got age restricted too.
Yeah, makes sense.
Pretty much all I did say that for. But that is another great thing for YouTube. Like that is about, it's a pretty bad video. And they didn't like ban my account or anything. They just asked that people be 18 to watch that, which is pretty understandable.
Yeah, definitely. All right, Jerry, it's been a pleasure talking to you. I would love to do some kind of collaboration in the future if you ever want to make some kind of video or call. I have a decent amount of experience with dropshipping and e-commerce. Not so much with course creation, but I've been in course creation for like 2 years now. So more than like people who don't do course creation, but
Well, I do all my collaborations in the partner program, so I imagine you'll manifest the income and join that, and we can figure something out.
Yeah, sounds good, man. All right, ciao.
Right. Take it easy, Jack. Thanks for the call today.
Thanks. Thank you.